So I met this elder woman, and she was probably in her late 60s at the time. She had battled breast cancer for the second time. And she said something to me, and this has probably been about 6 years ago now, but she had said something that just always stuck with me. She had stopped taking medication. She stopped going to radiation. She stopped doing all of it. She was just fed up. She was tired of it. Again, this is her second time battling it. And she said that it's not the medications. It wasn't the therapy. It wasn't any of that that cured me. She said it was my thought process. Who I need to be, coming from the heart,
coming from the heart. Welcome back to MOMnation from the Heart. And now a word from our sponsor. Hey y'all, Katie here, founder of MOMnation and owner and operator of Team EvoAZ at eXp Realty, your go-to gal for anything real estate in the state of Arizona. I am the sponsor of today's show. I will link my page and information in the show notes so you can quickly and easily get in touch with me should you need anything real estate, any advice, or maybe you're looking to get into the business. I sure hope you enjoy today's show. Thanks for listening. Hey, MOMnation, we are back with another episode of our From the Heart podcast, where we share inspirational stories, useful information, and we discuss a variety of women-related topics. I am Katie, your founder of MOMnation, and I would love to extend a wonderful, warm welcome to our beautiful co-host, Sherry Ramo. How are you today, Sher?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. How's single mom life treating you?
Oh, like literally nonstop running around, but hey, we fake it till we make it and you figure it out.
That's right. That's the way it goes. How's everybody feeling over there? I know your girls were kind of feeling a little under the weather.
Yes. Finally, everyone is healthy and not sick, not getting me sick. So everyone's back at school. Like the big kids are back at school. Little one will be starting daycare like Friday. Let's say Friday. Woo-hoo. I'm manifesting Friday.
Yes.
Friday's the day. Let's all manifest that for Sherry. Sherry needs a little break. She kicks total ass as a single mom. So you guys out there, give Sherry a big round of applause, especially if you know what she's going through. She kicks total ass. Not only that, but she also works a full-time job and she has an amazing side gig. So speaking of side gigs, which the topic of conversation is sort of about today. So she is like the perfect person to have this conversation with. So welcome, Cher.
Thank you. And I'm excited for your trip. So.
Yes. So Sherry and I do not live in the same state. That's sad. We used to, but it's been a few years. And so my son and I are going to be visiting her. So we're leaving in a couple of weeks, less than that now.
And where are you guys located?
Next weekend.
So she's in Texas and I'm in Arizona.
Okay. Oh, you are here in Arizona. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And you're in Arizona too?
Yep, I am.
Awesome. Sherry used to be in Arizona. We're constantly trying to get her to come back, but she's like, I got other things.
I love Arizona. Don't say it like I don't love
it.
Right. She does. That's true. But she has goals and she has things to do. So we're going to let her do that. And we will love her from afar. That's okay. So Denisha, let's talk. I mean, our topic of conversation today is something that Sherry and I are super passionate about. We love our entrepreneurial moms. We love supporting moms in business. We love the side gigs. We love all of that. We love the passion that is all wrapped up in that as well. And the three of us do share that. We also share something else. We survived 2020.
Woo. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes. Right?
Yes.
Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yes.
I think we need a few of those. But anyway, it's still obviously a very big topic of conversation. The whole 2020 was not that long ago. It's still affecting us in many ways. So I tend to talk about it a lot, either at dinner parties or with family or just with Sherry sometimes, and kind of talk about that time and what that time meant to us and what happened during that time and how did we grow through that? Because I feel like a big part of the things that we go through and deal with, our experience is really it's reflective of our mindset, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
And
I
so
agree totally.
right? And so if we're going through lockdown and we've got this, gee, this is really terrible. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. And it's all this negative speak that we're filling our head with, right? Because it's really important up in there versus, okay, I'm not really sure what's going on. Yeah, I might have some fear, but I heard this quote the other day, and in fact, I posted it a couple of days ago because I had posted it years ago, and then it kind of came up on my time hop, and it said, "Those, let me hopefully not butcher it. Those things turn out the best for those that make the best out of the way things turn out."
Deep.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, listen to that once again. Things turn out best for those that make the best out of the way things turn out. So there's really two sides of the stick whenever we're going into anything, right? Anything.
Absolutely.
I mean, our day, a pandemic, a new job, whatever it is. And there's that negative side that we can look at. I have lack of, I'm scared, I don't know, this is bad. Or there's that positive side of the stick where it's like, you know what? I'm strong. I'm going through this for a reason. Somebody up there believes in me to give me this job to do. There's so much more positivity down that road versus the other way. And I really feel like that affects your experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I I couldn't be more gracious this time. I used to always start off with my gratitude statements in the morning, just like those look in the mirror affirmations and all that jazz. But it seemed like it was an everyday thing for real during the pandemic. Truly believing that every day is a choice. I choose to live, and living for me is choosing to be happy. So what does that look like? Every day I start off with just all the positivity. I pray, get up, I move about as it's my last day, and I just choose to be happy every day. So the pandemic was definitely I had to step back and really make sure I wasn't being insensitive to other people, because I didn't have anybody directly in my realm that died or anything like that tragic. I did have COVID, and my family did as well in December, but I really had to just be grateful, because it was such a blessing, still is such a blessing. The pandemic, I only seen it in a positive light, being able to spend more time with my family. I was always on the go. And that was the main thing. You can't buy that time back. I was formerly before, I'm a new entrepreneur. As of June, I just became a full-time entrepreneur. But prior to that, I spent my full-time job was being an account manager for Arizona State University. I booked all travel for the Olympic sports. My job was very, very demanding. It was a 60-hour work week most days, or most weeks rather. If not more, I was kind of like on call. And although I was working from home, it just made it that much worse, because they always felt that you were available, right? So but it just me being at home really made me figure out the fact that you can get creative, and the time that you have with your family, and that's what's most important. Like, I can really do other things other than, giving all my time to this job that could really care less about me. You know what I mean? I could be replaced in 0.2 seconds. And it really just gave me time to think about what I like, what I enjoy, and have more time to do that. So I really had to sit back and reflect, and really, like I said, not be insensitive, because I know everybody, has had different approach or different things that happened to them during this time. But I chose to look at it in a positive light. And I think really that is what that's why I'm still happy. I think that's why I'm still happy. That's why my kids are happy. That's why, not to say we haven't been through things. We haven't, but we chose to be happy, and that's a choice every day. So, it's starting off with gratitude. I think has been truly helpful, though. Remembering in the bad situations that there's always something to be grateful for, and I'm a true believer in that. And I not to rant, but this just came to mind just now. I had a girlfriend. I gravitate to older people. It's the older woman that had battled. Yeah, you too. Yeah, the elder loved me. So I met this elder woman, and she was probably in her late 60s at the time. She had battled breast cancer for the second time, and she said something to me. And this has probably been about 6 years ago now, but she had said something that just always stuck with me. She had stopped taking medication. She stopped going to radiation. She stopped doing all of it. She was just fed up. She was tired of it. Again, this is her second time battling it. And she said that it's not the medications. It wasn't the therapy. It wasn't any of that that cured me. She said it was my thought process. She said, I really changed my mindset, and I really believe that I cured myself by thinking that every day I'm going to fight. Every day I'm going to, of course she had to do the things, taking her vitamins, doing things to help the situation. However, it was her mindset. And I think we forget about that sometimes. That's where it starts, and it's all, they say, what is it? I can't remember the percentage or the words verbatim, but it's something like 80% of the situation is the situation or the circumstance, but the rest of it is how you look at it or something like that. And I truly believe in that. So yeah, that would be my little input on this whole pandemic. Positivity is everything.
I'm so with you in that, so aligned in that. And I completely believe in everything that you said. And, what you said about the family time is something that was huge. I mean, giant, colossal for me during that lockdown period. I was stuck in my house, I say. I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. I mean, we were in the house for 36 or 8 days, something like that straight, because we had gotten the food that we needed and we just hunkered down. And that gave us a lot of time with each other. And I felt like before, my husband and I had a really good relationship. I mean, we had our things, like who doesn't? And I felt before that my son and I were close, but I really realized that I was inaccurate with that. Going through the pandemic and having that over a month of just, we didn't go out to dinner. We made dinner together, had dinner together, and my husband and I, our relationship is so much deeper. And we have, and even, which if you would have asked me before the pandemic, I would have been like, no, I can't love him more than I already do. But it's a deeper knowing, a deeper understanding.
Right.
And that is an incredible thing. And it's a bond that I've never had with another human before, with both of them, both my boys, my son and my husband. And it has really helped me to eliminate, how can I say this? Really the bottom line, and I love my friends, I love my family, but the bottom line is that what matters the most is the three of us. And
Absolutely.
And it really helped me kind of shut out the chatter, not worry about what, Bobby, Sue, and so were doing with their lives.
Right.
Really what it is my focus is really the three of us and what's going on with us. And that has changed the trajectory of my life in terms of my goals and, kind of the things that I do on a daily basis. It's really changed it a lot. Did you guys have that same experience at all?
Absolutely. Yeah, I didn't want to talk over you, Sherry. How about you?
No, you're fine. I did actually. So a lot of things changed for me in 2020. It's kind of where that stepping stone of getting back into single motherhood came into play. But kind of like you, I work a lot of hours, like kind of on call. I work for a university too, GCU. So funny that you worked for ASU. So we have so much in common.
Yes. Oh my God.
So, yeah, on call all the time, whatever, but having all of my 3 children home, doing virtual learning while I'm working. I have a toddler too. So it was a lot, but it was also a really amazing thing for us to go through as we were transitioning to just us. And so, my oldest got on she always says like, all right, Lorelai now from the Gilmore Girls, because I let her start watching Gilmore Girls. And so now she's like, all right, Mom, I'm old enough. We need to have this bond. It's super cute. But I don't think that any of those things would have happened without the world changing how it did. And then I don't know if you guys have read or seen, but I saw some kind of, not a meme, but something basically saying like, hey, in history books, what I want to remember about COVID and about the lockdown and about all these things are how our world and our perspectives changed so much that we slowed down as a race. Because think about it, we have everything at our fingertips now. So for a minute, maybe the busy moms and dads got to sit down and read a book with their kids when maybe that's not the norm every day, or teach them about the garden or go for walks, or because we were so isolated and we weren't worried about going to dance class or going to soccer or going to the family cookout. So those things really stood out to me in that little blurb. And that's what I really try to focus on is what are we able to do now that we maybe lost sight of before because everybody's so busy.
Absolutely.
Giant. And even in like, because I've known you for a long time, and I feel like you've always been a wonderful mom and have always, really had, from what I can see and from what I know, great relationship with your kids. You hang out with them a lot, but I saw more of you going on hikes, going out to ride the little motorbike that you guys had.
Yes.
And I really feel like that's important. I mean, these are the things that we're going to look back on when these kids are old and, taking care of us. These are the things that we're going to look back on. I mean, these are the memory times, right? We're building memories here.
And you mentioned hiking. That definitely triggered my desire to get back into like a healthy me, right? And then, you obviously are doing your journey. And so I think that also, hey, people getting sick around us, I also didn't have anybody close to me that was affected in a way that other people have experienced, right? So it's a different experience for me than somebody else. But it did make me realize like, hey, I'm not the healthiest me right now. And so I want to be the healthiest me because my kids, I'm the only one they have. So I need to be the healthiest me. So if something does happen, I can fight it or whatever.
Huge point. And I can see that how one thing kind of affected another for you. And you got to that point where you are, because I mean, we're killing it, dude. Like we've been doing this. She's been doing it for a little bit longer than I have, but Sherry and I completely revamped our diets and got into this pretty intense workout, working with trainers and stuff. And I mean, that's so beneficial for so many reasons. A, it helps us not get sick, right? So A, number one. B, clarity, patience, longevity of life.
Absolutely.
When you feel good, I feel like you are able to enjoy even just a boring, whatever, like you enjoy it so much more because you're not dealing with ailments and pain and all of this kind of stuff.
You guys got me so hyped about this conversation right now. I'm like, what? These are my girls. Let me tell you. So my journey actually started. So my daughter's 15 months old. Prior to that, I had lost nearly 150 pounds. It was a couple pounds off. Yeah. Diet and exercise, right? So I was on my A game, right? And I was like, oh, I'm pregnant. I know what I'm doing. I could eat and, I could still work out. Yeah, no, that didn't happen. I let it take control, let pregnancy, I use it as a whole excuse. I gained 77 pounds back. Pandemic happened. Well, it's a lot of things that happened prior to that. But I had my daughter in May, and I was just trying to juggle it all with the job, with the kids at home learning. And it was becoming so much on top of starting a business, all while this was happening. Right. So I went crazy. I did literally, like I had to go to the doctor. I was not one to go to the doctor unless I really, really have to, but I knew that I had my first panic attack and didn't know. I heard the word anxiety and I was like, oh, I've been through so much stuff. I just used to push it all down. And until I couldn't breathe and I was like, sweating at the hands. I had to Google to figure out what the heck these symptoms were. I didn't understand. Finally, it happened the second time. I went to the doctor and the doctor was like, you know what? You are this close from a nervous breakdown. You have anxiety, severe anxiety. They wanted to put me on all kind of medications. And I'm like, you know what? Not anything about anybody that takes them. But for me, I never like to take medication. I'm all about, doing things holistically and all that jazz. So I had to really think like, what is it? I'm missing something. Well, what I was missing was that me time. I stopped taking care of myself. So what I did was went out on a medical leave, and they wanted me on all these medications. I played the role. I started going to the gym, making it a priority. I didn't start my day until I got my 1 hour a day in. So I really got serious starting this May that just came, and I'm down almost 50 pounds again, and I really took my health to another level. I am working out 5 to 6 days a week. I used to have a meal prepping business that when I was on my journey before. By default kind of became an Herbalife distributor. I'm not into it too heavy. I'm more passionate about coaching people, getting people started like right where they are right now. And I love the fact that I'm just living it with them. You know what I mean? I'm on this journey too. Like I have a whole lot of weight to lose, but it's all about that feel good, like you talked about. And although people are like, oh my God, girl, you're starting to look so good. That's all great. But I'm like, hey girl, but I feel better than I look. And that's what it is. So ever since I started putting me first, my anxiety has went completely down. The working out is mandatory. That is my medication in the morning. So before I get my day started with anything else, I drop my kids off at school. My youngest baby, she comes to my parents' house, and I literally go take my hour, and I come back and I start my day. And that's just how it goes from here on. So I'm right there with you guys. And that's so important. And it's me and my fiance, he's not on the same page. Hopefully, I'm setting the example and he's going to kind of jump on, but we're kind of growing apart in this space right now, because he's not speaking my language, and I'm not willing to stay back with you because, you choosing not to do what I'm doing. I'm going to keep growing. Hopefully you're going to want to join me. If not, honey, I'm going to see you later, boo.
Right?
Not
Right.
going back to that girl anymore.
Yes, not at all. Not at all. So kudos to you guys. I'm so excited for you.
Well, and to you too, congratulations for really taking the reins and for making such huge adjustments.
Absolutely.
I wish that I could take the way that I feel, because I didn't eat too terribly, and I wasn't too, overweight or anything back before I did it. But what a big, giant change having done it, especially removing, empty carbs, removing sugar and things like that. I wish that I could take how I feel and put it inside of everybody so that they can understand. Yeah, they may feel okay, but you just don't realize how terrible you feel until you feel so much better.
Absolutely. That is the full truth. I love it.
Right? It's crazy. And it's crazy how much it affects other things. It affects sleeping. It affects your love life. It affects clarity, patience. I don't find myself losing patience so quickly, especially during cycle time.
Right.
That's not biking for those of you who might be men out there. But I find myself able to, I'm going to take a deep breath. I don't need to spaz out on this person. You know what I mean? And I can control it so much better. It's really made so many amazing changes in my life. So glad
also
that you
with
guys
mindset, like looking back on the girl I was 2020, early 2020, or like right before, like I was super unhappy. And I think that definitely has to go into the self-care that you were talking about. Like I did the same thing. Everyone else came first. My kids, my spouse, work, everything came first. And I didn't have anything left to give myself. So once I started that journey of like, no, I'm important and I'm going to focus on me. I can still be a good mom. I can still be a good employee, whatever. But I need to have that. Like I had more endurance for everything else, but my mindset, I was able to be more positive instead of looking at the negative, because I also was able to look back and reflect and say, I wasn't happy. And now I am getting happy, even though I'm going through all these life changes and we're on lockdown. Like, hey, these are the positive things that we can bring forward. You got to see the silver lining in things.
Giant, right? I mean, you have to, otherwise where are you going to grow? Where are you going to go? You know what I mean? So Denisha, take us kind of back maybe right before the pandemic hit, you had mentioned you were working a bunch of hours, you got to work from home. So that did change or didn't change, or kind of take us through, okay, who was Denisha then pandemic hit, what happened to her?
Absolutely. So September 19th of September of 2019, I was found out I was pregnant. That took me for a loop because I was not expecting it whatsoever. Come the beginning of the year, I'm preparing for a pregnancy, to have another baby. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So my middle daughter, I have 3 children. They're all girls. The first one, she's 7. Her name is Amora. The middle child is Alea. She's 5. And then the 15-month-old now, her name is Zaya. Well, Alea was born with a rare heart defect. She's been under 6 open heart surgeries. It's a surgery I knew she was going to have, but we were not expecting to have it as soon as we did. So here I am, February 2020. We went in for a routine appointment. It was just our regular 6 months checkup. She was going to do her echocardiogram, and the doctor started acting really funny. Fast forward, they told us we had to have emergency surgery. They shut the hospitals down and they were like, no, we're not doing anything, but hers could not wait. Her valve started to close on her, and they were acting really, really nervous. Although I didn't see anything physical different with her. Everything was normal. So they just said that, no, this is not going to be able to wait for another month, 2 months. We need to get it done. So here I am at this point, 7.5 months pregnant and getting this news. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what am I getting ready to do? So financially, I was already preparing to be out from work because, I'm not getting paid 100%. But when I found out she was going to have her surgery in April, I was due in May, I was panicking, like, what am I getting ready to do? So here it is. I'm now 8.5 months pregnant, and I'm going in for her open heart surgery. We didn't know what that was going to look like. It's literally open heart. They're breaking the chest bone. I mean, it's intense, right? So I'm under so much stress, being so pregnant. I'm like, oh my gosh, found out that my baby that I was pregnant with, my daughter now, they were also concerned about her heart. Whether she was going to have one of the same interruptions, which is the aorta arch that was missing for my daughter. So I'm under so much stress, but yet I'm like, I got to stand up. My other daughter needs me. I got to, be well for the baby I'm carrying. So we go and have the surgery. Thank God everything happened better than they even expected. She's not expecting to have any other surgeries until she gets a little bit older. Yes, it's a blessing. So here it is. I was finally able to kind of relax a little bit, take care of her until I got ready to have the baby, but I knew I needed supplemental income. So I happened to go into a sip-in shop. Seeing this girl slinging bling, $5 jewelry. I saw everybody walking in, the traffic, how happy everybody was. And I was just like, oh my gosh, pulled the lady to the side. I said, hey, what are you doing? How are you doing it? She gave me the scoop. I went home and I was like, look, I don't know what I'm doing. I just like jewelry. I love fashion. I love all this jazz. So I guess I'm getting ready to sling some bling because I could do it from home, right? So hit the ground running, got my kit, start going live. I was already had a YouTube channel, so I was already kind of familiar with it, got my backdrop. And so I wasn't starting like exactly from scratch, but I didn't know what I was doing. So here it is. It's in May now. Actually had the baby. We're full blown in the pandemic. After being in the business for probably about a month and making money, like I was really good at it. I was like, what the heck? Like, didn't even expect it whatsoever. But I realized like I was starting to dislike my job more and more. My job was starting to become annoying. It was like starting to be where it was stopping me from doing what I enjoy doing. Right. So I was like, oh, okay. I see where this is going. This is kind of leading into something bigger and better. So I fast forwarded and I'm in this business now. I'm a paparazzi consultant. Never, ever, ever did I expect that I would find my passion during the pandemic. So it was a pandemic and it was both my daughter's surgery, because my daughter's surgery, that made me legit find something else because I was so pregnant. I couldn't go get another job. Yes, I had a fiance. I'm the breadwinner out of the 2 of us, but I was a single mom myself for a little bit. And grew up always being very independent. No shade to my fiance or anything. He can be a provider, but I have to take care of me. If Buddy decides to leave today, I have me and my baby cubs to take care of. And that's just what I know. So I had to find something. And luckily I stumbled across this. And like I said, this became something I enjoyed. This is not my end all with what I'm doing right now. I feel like I have so much to give and so much to offer, so many people to inspire. But I do really realize that during this time, like if it wasn't for the pandemic, if it wasn't for my daughter having a surgery, I would have probably been sitting unhappy at home working from home. And that was nothing new for me anyway, because my job was pretty flexible like that anyway. So it wasn't a perk for me, I should say. I love people. I love being around people. And so that was really keeping me isolated. So I've grown like so much. Before the pandemic, I would say that I've always been a confident person. I've always been positive. I've always been that one that is optimistic about the good stuff. Like I don't never even see I look at all situations, the what could happen, but I've always focused on what I can do now to make my situation greater, right? So that part didn't necessarily change. I think my confidence in believing in myself to do something different, stepping out on fear, having faith, literally that's where I am now. So I live by faith over fear any day. I don't know what the heck I'm doing, to be honest with you. I'm a truly new entrepreneur. This, like I said, since June, I just became one, and it was kind of by default. So I told you guys that I had went out on a medical leave, and that was legit. However, I was trying to be strategic during that time that I was out. I wanted to make the most valuable, do everything I could, optimize my time out. So I was out for almost 6 weeks, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna be out for this amount of time. I wonder what it's going to be like. I only work my side hustle part-time, but I make decent money. What if I did this full time? What would it look like? Turn into a full-time thing for the month of April, end up tripling in sales. I was like, oh, so you mean to tell me that I could be doing what I enjoy doing and then making the money that I make at work? Okay. So I had set a plan, and my plan was to go back to work, kind of secure little things, get some money stashed away for about 90 days. And then I was going to take this huge leap of faith and just leave. The scariest thing ever, I have a daughter with a heart condition. I got kids, period, that need insurance. And going to be an entrepreneur with none of that security, scary as I don't know what. Well, I feel like my coworker she had something to do with it, but I came back into work. Things was really odd. End up getting fired. Okay, they fired me right when I came back from my leave. And again, me being the person that I am, I'm like, thank you. I call it, it was the blessing came before my plan. My plan was to leave anyway, but the blessing came because I know me. Things would have popped up. I would have made another excuse to why I need to stay because I was scared. I was fearful. You know what I mean? Terrified to leave something secure to go to something unfamiliar and not so secure. So I'm so thankful for them. And when they fired me, I did want to know why. I was curious because I just thought it was really crazy how I just came back and all of a sudden it was a performance issue. Mind you, I hadn't been there for 6 weeks, but I just had to thank them. I told them I wish them the best. And honestly, I am more happy now than I've ever been. I don't make the money that I was making at my full-time job. I'm transparent. That's real. I don't make it. I sell $5 jewelry. I have other things going on the side because I always believe in having multiple streams of income, diversifying things. However, me being able to be here with my kids, to take them to and from school, to be able to sit and do homework with them and not have my mom and dad help them. And you can't put a price tag to any of that. My baby is 15 months old. There's so much I miss with my other two, being that I was doing things on my own, in and out of the hospital with my other one. I suffered from postpartum so bad with my second daughter. I've been through a whole lot. And I was like, you know what? I'm not making that money, but I am so much more happier. And I can be honest with you, it was one time, maybe 2 weeks ago, I realized that my daughter needed tutoring, my oldest daughter. She's struggling big time in school. She's in second grade. And the fact that I didn't have the money, and I'm used to having it, I'm used to having that extra stash, I'm kind of to be honest with you, I'm kind of living from paycheck to paycheck right now, but I feel like this is part of the grind. This is part of the hustle. So I'm sticking with it. But I did have a moment where I second guess myself. I question myself whether if going into this entrepreneur space was the right thing because I was unable to provide at that moment. That lasted for 0.2 seconds because I realized that the reason why I wanted to leave, is because I just got tired of living for somebody else, living somebody else's dream. This was not my dream to sit here and book travel for Olympic sports all my life. I knew that was not my end all. However, I knew I needed that at the moment. That was my season. So now I feel like this pandemic, again, has been a blessing because it put me in a situation where I was able to get creative. I was able to take the time to tap into what my potential. I know I knew I was so capable of so many other things, and I'm learning every day. My why is changing each and every day, and I'm happy. I'm happy. So I was a happy person, what I thought before, but even more so now that I'm able to spend the time that you can't buy, you can't pay for. I'm able to do it. And I get up when I sleep in. Well, my thoughts, anything after 5:30 in the morning, kind of sleeping in on my side, okay? Because we get up pretty early. I live a little outskirts, so we get up pretty early. But I mean, just to be able to not worry about having to take my daughter to a doctor, she has to go 3 times out of the week, or not having to ask for permission. I tell you what, I'm so happy at this point. So I've grown. I've learned so much about business. I'm still learning. I'm a student of everything as of now. I'm wide open. I'm just loving life, to be honest with you right now. Loving me, loving life.
If it was everyone, but sorry.
Right?
Katie.
No, I'm sorry. Like I connect with so much of that. And I know Sherry does too. And I know
You're my spirit animal right now. Like
right. I know.
3 daughters. Hello. Like we're the same person, Denisha.
It's so true. And
wow.
I love the leap of faith because, I'm 42 years old. I have been working for myself since I was 24. And I always tell people when they ask me, they're like, wow, you've been doing it for so long. Like, don't you ever feel like this is just so too unpredictable, or, it's not that comfort, like what you were mentioning with your job. But my mindset is I am the most predictable thing in my life. So if just like what happened with you, you came back from medical leave and then all of a sudden you didn't have a job anymore. So those kind of things can happen. And if you don't have something to fall back on, well, then what do? You're kind of just a victim of having to go through the grind again and having to find another position like that you think is super solid and super comfortable, but it isn't necessarily, because you're relying on somebody else that doesn't have you in mind. And I rely on me. I have me and my family in mind. And I just like, that's kind of my mindset there. And I feel like you've come into that.
Absolutely. Golly, you broke it down so good. Yes, that's exactly how I feel. Exactly.
Whoops, my mute button there didn't come off when I wanted it to. So take me to the time when, so you're a bazillion months pregnant, your daughter's going through this surgery that you didn't expect. I'm sure you didn't expect the price tag that comes with it and all of that. You're on medical leave. You're going through some medical things yourself that you're kind of unsure about. How did you, I know you kind of stumbled upon the next step, but how did you work that? Because you had so much stuff that you were dealing with anyway. Were you just like, okay, self, one more thing? What's one more thing? Let's do it. Like, how did you work through that and not push away the opportunity because you had so much on your plate?
I just always, with that mindset of being, when one door closes, another one opens, I kept feeling like I was getting pushed out the way, but not necessarily pushed down. You know what I mean? And I just kept standing up. I always tell everybody, I can depend on me. If I can't do anything else, I can depend on me. I always make sure. I went to beauty school, got my license. I thought that was a thing that I wanted to do straight out of high school. I just always keep my license current just because I never know if I have to go cut hair real quick. But my hustle game has always been strong. So when it comes to me and my kids and just me being that independent person, period, I don't have time to crumble. I got these little people that is depending on me, that's waiting on me. When my kids' dad told my two oldest daughters, they have a different dad. He and I were together for about, I don't even know, 5 years or so, 6 years. And everything went really quick. I dove into that's pretty much my life. I don't have time. Listen, is either we're gonna do it, we not, we get along, we do, whatever it is, right? I'll figure it out later. But so yeah, I jumped into that relationship very quick. Within 6 months, I was pregnant with my first daughter, had her, got pregnant. I was living in Houston, Texas, by the way, for 5 years. That's where he and I met. He's from the Virgin Islands. Hey, he's from the Virgin Islands. And I'm like, how did I go all the way to Texas to meet hopefully a Southern man? That's what the plan was. And I meet somebody from the damn Virgin Islands. I'm like, where the hell did you come from? but I met him. Our life was just different, different. But he chose to not come here. Then when he finally did, it was too late. And so I did the single mom thing for a minute. And that taught me so much. It strengthened me more than I knew I was strong before, but that was a choice that I made. I chose not to be with him. It wasn't like he had a lot of money anyway, or it was coming with a whole lot, but I just knew that I could depend on me, and whatever it was I was going to do, I always kept the bigger picture in mind. I always knew that I wanted to be a boss, but I couldn't put my finger on exactly what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. And I think I'm still trying to figure that part out. But I think every day I'm getting closer. I feel it, But I just knew that I just had not only for myself to live for, but for my kids as well. So I had to keep pushing. Yeah, there was days where I was crying, not in front of them, my kids, but I would cry, but I kept pushing. I'm always looking for a way to better myself, whether it's business wise, whether it's getting to know someone else or whatever it is. So that fear of going without, I can honestly say I don't necessarily have it. And when you have faith, it's like that's just something that I just don't live with. I mean, it comes across, but I just don't dwell in it. You know what I mean? I just know that it's something else coming, but I'm gonna ride this out, and something good is gonna come out of it. So I guess just keeping my kids in mind and just knowing that I gotta keep pushing either way, whatever it looks like, I gotta keep going. And so that really just gets me through each and every time. I really believe that that's what it is. That's what it is.
I love it. Sherry, I feel like shares in the same with you because I won't speak for her. Go ahead, Cher.
No, like I said, I mean, we're the same person, girl. But one thing that I'm taking away from like hearing your story, and yes, you're very similar to me. And we have a lot of similar experiences, but you never played victim. You never let that happen. And I think that is huge because it allows us to continue. If we were just to feel defeated and sit down and be like, oh, well, I'm a single mom, or I'm this, I'm that, and this door closed, and you didn't push on and you didn't persevere, your world would be vastly different today than it is. And so that, I think, is just a big takeaway from you sharing your story, that you don't let that happen. And I think that's huge.
Oh, thank you.
And it's important because you have 3 daughters, and now they see this badass mom on the hustle game all the time. And they're going to grow up to be little independent, amazing women as well.
Absolutely. I tell people now, it's so funny. Like they don't teach you in school how to be a boss, right? They don't teach that. They teach you to go to school, you learn, and you got to work in this big corporate job. I'm like, the hell with that. I want to teach my daughters to work for themselves and to be their own boss. Find out what it is that you enjoy doing, but mommy's going to figure this out and show you the way it works, and go do whatever it is that you want to do. That's my role right now, is just to gain all the information that I can to where I can pour it back into my daughters, because I don't want to be that person that and don't get me wrong, I don't want to offend anybody that that would love to work a corporate job, and maybe that's what they want to do in life. For me, I just know that that was not me ever. I knew I was bigger and better than that, and I wanted to be my own boss. I knew that, but I will make sure I teach my daughters that. Now, if they choose to go still work for someone, and not to say that they should never, because I feel like I learned so much. And honestly, where I am now, all my jobs prepared me for where I am now, to be honest with you. It molded me, it taught me so much about business. There's so many things now that I do in my business that I even took from my traveling jobs, so it's definitely was not time wasted. However, I just think this was my time. You go through things for a reason, or it's a season. It's up to you to determine which that is, and I choose to live, girl. I choose to live. I choose to be happy. And that's just what it is. Life is so freaking short, and it just is so scary. I used to be one that was afraid to die. As I got older, I think my fear now is not being here for my kids. But even more so personally, my fear is dying and not living my purpose, not doing what I wanted to do and to live. And that is so freaking scary if you think about it, to not have accomplished. Like, I watch First 48, y'all. That's my favorite show. Low key, my favorite show. So I just watch that all the time, and I think about all these young people that had unfortunate circumstances, whatever, if it was their choice or however they died. But I just think about, wow, like, they're so young, like they didn't even get a chance to be able to live their purpose, see what they even wanted to become. Or that makes me sad and scared as I don't know what. So my mission in life right now is just to find my passion, and it might be more than one thing. I'm discovering that I am a Jane of all trades, and it's okay to not put myself in one box, and I could be fruitful and put myself out here and there and wherever. But just to find out what that thing is. And what I realized a common denominator is, like I said before, I love people. I love helping people. I love inspiring people. I love the fact that I'm so transparent and I can tell my story. I don't get embarrassed very easily. So if my story or my mistakes or whatever can help somebody else, that right there fulfills me. I am so fulfilled being able to help somebody else not make a mistake that I made, or just being able to show them the way, that's the common denominator for me. So whatever that boss job looks like, that will allow me to do those things, that's what I'm supposed to be here for. So it's exciting to think about that I haven't discovered it yet.
I love what you said about there's no wasted time. And I honestly believe in that too. And I believe that if you, every experience that you have every minute of the day, if you look at it, look for the opportunities in it, look for the positivity in it, look for what you can be grateful for in it. I mean, you can be grateful. You could take it right down to bare bones, right? You can be grateful there's a roof over your head today. Right? And then that puts you into that mindset of opening your eyes and looking for those opportunities and looking for what really makes your heart sing. And I think that that's a big thing for you. And I can see it. I mean, you just explode when you speak about your passion. It makes your heart sing. And how does that help us? Well, it provides purpose for us. When we're doing the things that we like, that really makes our heart sing, that provides a lot of motivation for us to continue doing that. So for those that are out there that might have been or might be in the same spot that you were, or are listening to this and they're like, you know what? I was taught in school to just do whatever, go get a job working for somebody else and get the white picket fence and all of that. But you know what? That may be really great for people who enjoy that, but I'm not passionate about that. How would you suggest to our moms out there, our listeners out there, how can they start going down that road of figuring out what their passion is to even begin with?
Just start entertaining the things that you enjoy doing. If it's going to a Zumba class because you enjoy dancing, who knows? You might be that instructor one day. You have to entertain the things that you enjoy doing. If you don't entertain it, it just stays a thought, and it just stays stagnant. Nothing ever happens. So just being fearless and living faith over fear, and just whatever it is. And I started to keep bringing up COVID. And of course, we're still living in it, but right now is such a great opportunity. I was having a conversation with somebody at the gym the other day, and I heard them saying, everybody is not there's not a lot of people at work. Nobody wants to work anymore. Everybody wants to get these, the government money, blah, blah, blah. Okay, true enough, there are people doing that. However, what they don't talk about is there's a lot of people that became entrepreneurs during these circumstances right here, right now, and I'm talking entrepreneur as in, because some people don't look at Lyft drivers. My fiance is a Lyft driver. Literally, he's making more money. He was working for FedEx before. He's making more money on today now than he was working for them. The only thing that was different is that he had insurance. Other than that, we're able to stop and go when we need to, work around our schedules. And that right there is, again, priceless. So they don't talk about how people have got creative, how people have stepped into their passion or found their passions through these times. And that's the reason why they're not going back to work for somebody, because they found that they could do it, make the same amount of money, and be with their families. So, but nobody wants to talk about that part. But for me, that is my story. That's my story too. So, I just feel like, whatever it is that you want to do, what are you waiting for at this point? Right now is a perfect time to do it. Again, being transparent. I was setting myself up for this moment. Once I realized that I could do this, and I got into, selling the $5 jewelry and all that jazz, I found out about the, what is it called? The forbearance program with my mortgage, right? And I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna screw up, right now is the perfect time to kind of do it, right? So I went on and I took advantage of that. So currently I don't pay a mortgage, and that's gonna end it come April. But this is giving me that peace of mind to kind of get my, figure out what I'm doing and how I'm gonna do it. And again, I gotta get creative because that time is coming. But this is the time to take advantage of whatever it is that you always thought to do it now, because it's going to be excusable because of everything going on. You know what I mean? If you're going to F up, do it now, girl. So I say, go for it. Entertain whatever it is that you enjoy doing. Live it out to the fullest. Try everything. Don't even restrict yourself. Try everything. And you will find that maybe that one thing that you thought was your passion, you're going to find maybe that it either is, or you're going to find something else, but you will find something out of it. So entertain it. That's all I have to say.
I love that. And what I keep hearing from you, and you're Sherry's spirit animal, you can be mine too, is that your eyes are open for opportunity. So
Absolutely.
You saw the opportunity that the government was giving, and you took that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Mm-hmm.
for you. Sherry is a makeup slinger. So we got the bling slinger and we got the makeup slinger.
Whoop,
I think
whoop.
we need to have a little union here.
Yes, girl. Yes.
Because she has some other things too. She has a little swimsuit boutique as well. So Sherry, talk to us about, same question, really, like the importance of finding your passion, and where there's a kitten behind you.
Surprise.
Surprise. I have a new pet to go visit in a couple weeks. Oh my goodness. We have to talk about this kitten. Anyway, back to the question. The kitten, the cute things like, squirrel, kitten. So back to the same question for you. Passion. How'd you find it? Take us kind of through that same thing that Denisha just did on your end.
So funny story, when you're a single mom and you have like this full-time job with full-time benefits, like she said, it's super scary to walk away from that or to leave that. Like, and everyone's going to judge you and be like, well, are you crazy? Like, you have kids to support. So I get that. And like preparing, luckily for me, I have Katie Lambert in my life. And so she actually helped me with my first transition out of the 9-to-5 corporate world. And during that time is when I procured the swimsuit boutique, which I've always been like an entrepreneur, hustler type mindset. And during my first divorce is when I got into like health and wellness. So similar to you, direct sales, and I really liked it and I did well. So then like that made me feed upon wanting more, right? Like wanting more of just me, not just the necessary direct sales, which I loved that. And I learned a lot from that. I learned a lot from my corporate job as well. But then I got the swimsuit boutique, and Katie and I head up MOMnation. So just all of these things were kind of like landing into place and just working together. And so it continued to kind of foster this, I can do more, or I can do this, I can do that. I'm the same way. Like, I don't want to put myself in a box of I only do this. And some people are good with that and some aren't, right? Like some people take on too much and then they just suck at all of them. Whereas other people can take on multiple things, but meld them together, right? Like makeup and swimsuits for me goes together, because if you're interested in makeup and beauty and fashion, like typically that goes hand in hand. So, I mean, I don't know. I just love all of the girly things. I grew up a tomboy. I love all the girly things. I love people. I basically coach in my 9 to 5 job during the day. I'm a counselor. And so I coach people on what do you want to be when you grow up? I coach businesses on how they can have scholarships and partnerships with us to offer their employees for longevity. And so I exude that pretty much in everything. You know, if it's a bathing suit and you're trying to figure out, hey, what works best with my body style, or hey, I'm a mom and I need something that's not super revealing because I'm going to the family pool party or whatever. Just all of those things. I like talking to people, getting to know them, and then being able to better assist them that way.
I love it. And
I love
hopefully
that.
this is okay for me to share about Sherry. But she has a bazillion degrees, by the way. So she's got like, I don't know, she's probably up to PhD in something by now. But she left us. That's okay. She'll be back. But she's got a bazillion degrees. And
Wow.
so she works for a college she just mentioned to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, with that eyes open for opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
she knows that
Mhm.
working for this college gives her the opportunity to continue school so that
Mhm.
she can get all these bazillion degrees, which helps
Mhm.
her in other areas of her life and in the side hustle and stuff like that. That's okay for me to share, I hope, right? Because it just got shared to the world. The kitten and that secret about Sherry has just been shared to the world. Bazillion degrees and a new kitten.
Yeah. So it's, I was going to say, like, you just like made my whole day though. Just hearing you speak just makes my soul happy, because I can feel it. I can feel it. Like your happiness, even though we're on the phone and just virtual. But I can feel how happy you are. And that makes me happy. Like seeing other moms happy. Katie said in the beginning, we fully support mom bosses and business owners, entrepreneurs. That's something near and dear to our hearts. It's something that we've seen so many people go from, you know, corporate America or single moms or stay-at-home moms to growing this amazing empire. And it's literally the most amazing thing to watch.
My gosh. Oh,
I have the chills everywhere. In fact, I can think of 2 of our friends that are in MOMnation. You can think of them right now too, Sherry, that like what happened with you when you went back after medical leave and your job was like, well, sorry. The same thing happened to these 2 ladies. And that is the kick in the ass they needed to be like, okay, my side hustle is now becoming my main hustle. And they are killing it in their main hustle right now. They know who they are too. If they listen to this, they'll know.
That's incredible.
But it is. And it's just, you know, for Sherry and I, we've been supporting women in business for, I mean, it's going on 7.5 years now through MOMnation. And what we have seen happen, we have seen, I mean, women just get their groove back and really step into confidence. We have seen, you know, marriages that needed to end because of that confidence, because they weren't in good marriages. We've seen marriages that needed to blossom because they saw that, you know, they had that confidence and they saw that opportunity in their relationships. We've seen so much. We've seen businesses start from ground nothing to huge booming businesses. I mean, I can think of one off the top of my head right now. I'm just going to say it. Erica Romero, we love you so much. Top Notch Landscaping. She's here in the Arizona area. And I think we were her very first job. We used to do movies on Main, remember? And we were Erica's first job, her husband, first job. And now, I mean, love them so much. They're phenomenal at what they do. They're booked out for months because of that.
Wow.
I mean,
That's
about
incredible.
You know?
Yes. And oh my God, kudos to you. This platform is absolutely amazing. I never had heard anything about it. One of the girls at the gym I work out at, I met her, and because of compliance issues with paparazzi, I couldn't get into the business side of it and become a member and all that stuff. But when I talked to Miss Marilyn and she invited me here, I was like, what an amazing freaking platform. Like, what I realized so far in this entrepreneur space, it can be lonely out here in these streets. Not everybody speaks this language, you know what I mean? And for me, I don't have the support, to be quite honest with you. Just a little bit of background. I grew up, my dad played professional football. My younger brother plays professional football now. And so I feel like I have something to prove. I come from, you know, I have two brothers. I'm the only girl, the middle child. Both of my brothers are successful. My other one runs a gym that he trains pro athletes and all that jazz. So I feel like I have a little bit, you know, I have to do something with my life.
You got shoes to fill.
Yeah. And so now it's like, just, you know, even though my dad, you know, he played football and he's very resourceful and that type of thing, and they can be supportive. But I say this and it not in a harmful way, but I really feel like they want me to succeed, but they I don't want to say they plan for me to fail, but they're kind of waiting for me to fail type thing. You know what I mean? Because it's unfamiliar to them as well. You know, This is not the normal for them. And I know it's scary. Hell, I said it was scary too. I'm scared as I don't know what, but I'm doing it scared as hell. And every time, like you said, Sherry, every time everything is just kind of coming into, the more scared I am and the more that I jump into things or do things, I was scared as hell to come on here. Let me tell you, I
know, Marilyn told me.
I don't know, you really realize, girl, I get the bubble guts and everything. Like when I get nervous, it's a bad thing. Oh. I'm taking the girl. So I needed to do something like this because it's something I never did before. I'm really in that space of just trying some of everything. I'm eating my own dog food. When I talk to other people, and I say what I said earlier about try all things, just try it. You know, I'm doing the same thing. I'm walking the walk, and I'm doing it. I'm talking it and I'm walking it as well. So I just thank you. This platform is freaking amazing. And I think that that's why you're so successful as well, is like you're reaching back because there's so many people. I don't always have all the resources. And even within my business, I feel like the company is very resourceful. Honestly, they're amazing. But just aside from what I'm doing and what I'm selling, the business part of it, you know, it's lonely. And I'm really having to put myself out there to find resources and to figure out, you know, not everybody just wants to give out the information. And you know, it's tough. And so I'm not one, just don't hand it to me. I'm willing to work for it, but show me the way, connect me with the right people, or, you know, I want to be able to do the work too, so I can learn. But at the end of it all, like when I teach my daughters and other young people to get started with the business early, I just want to be able to show them the way to where I can be that resource for somebody else. You know what I mean? So kudos to you guys. This is amazing. Because you don't have it. Yeah, it's true.
Well, thank you so much. You know, Sherry and I I want to say it was a natural progression, but we also saw a need at some point. So we're both very entrepreneurial and we wanted to support women. We kind of started that way, and then things just snowballed, right? And then it got to the point that it's at. And I mean, I'm not going to speak for her again, but I couldn't be happier. I mean, we meet so many amazing women. You're an amazing guest. You're so inspirational. I'm so glad to have you here. So thank you so much for visiting with us, for spending a little bit of time. That hour went by like that.
Yeah.
And tell me, was it as laid back and cool as I told you it would be? Or
so cool.
Okay,
yeah. Perfect. Thank you for making me feel comfortable. Like 5 minutes into the conversation, I was like, okay, this is that kind of vibe. I get it. I got it. I'm cool. Yeah. You made me feel totally comfortable. Thank you to the both of you guys. You guys are awesome.
Oh, thanks. That's so great. And big shout out to Miss Marilyn. That's actually my mother, by the way.
Is it your mom?
Yeah, she's my mom.
Oh my God. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Well, dang. You
can tell her she
looks so good.
Thank you. You should tell her she looks like a young lady. She'll appreciate it.
But legit, she does. I would have never guessed. Wow. Awesome.
Yeah. So again, thank you so much. Can you please, if it is okay, if some of our audience members out there, our listeners, are members of MOMnation, if they want to get in touch with you, either to learn a bit more about you, learn about your business, shop your products, get some inspiration from you, can they do that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm on all platforms. On my business side of it, it's Blinged by Nene. That's BLINGED by, and my nickname is Nene. That's where it comes from, but it's NENE. And my journey for my weight loss is on my Instagram, and that's everything _Nene_. And that's where I am. And I'm an open book. So there's nothing, like I said, I don't get embarrassed too easily. So I talk about the things that most people are uncomfortable to talk about, but I bring it up. And it's typically what's on everybody's mind, but they just don't speak about it. But yeah, reach out to me any type of way. I have a website as well. You can shop the $5 website, and it's also blingedbynene.com with the www in front of it. So I would love for you guys to shop. Hit me up. I'm an open book. Join. I love it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. You were a phenomenal guest. We would love to have you back. If
Absolutely.
Something else, and I'm sure there is, that now that you know us, that we can have a conversation about, we would love that, because really, I mean, it's been such an enjoyable hour. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And for those of you out there, if you're interested in being a guest on the show, please follow us at MOMnation USA. That's our handle. And we are on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. Sherry's working on that for us. We got some funny little stuff on TikTok. So check us out there. Give us a like while you're there. Throw us a message. Let us know that you want to be a guest on the show and why you should be a guest on the show. We would love to talk to you. While you are listening today on your favorite platform, please subscribe, download our episodes, rate us, because that really, really helps us get spread out organically, right? And we want to make sure that all the mamas out there that need to hear these messages get to hear these messages. So thank you so much for your help with that. All right, everybody. This is it.
Thank you, guys. Air hugs. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
We'll be connecting. I'm like going to run to Facebook now and friend you.
I'm going to stalk your page.
I love it.
I need those earrings.
Yes.
Girl, I need you. Girl, holla at me, please. Thank you guys so much again. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a great day.
Take care. You guys as well. Thank you. Bye-bye.